Alrighty. So we got our boy Ultraz back for another review, this time on the Billy. This game ended up being a loss, but we'll kind of see how it goes. Said he kind of lost the plot about halfway through, so keep an eye and see how things progress up to that point. So I don't play a lot of Billy. Taking a lot of minion damage right now. So I don't play a lot of Billy. So a lot of this is probably going to be some general advice. Like, I know enough about Billy though. Took a ton, still taking a ton of damage. 400 damage, over 400 damage. It's like half your health bar right here in minion damage.
Stay safe out there.
Melee lifesteal. Yeah, be careful about these minions, especially fighting in the middle of them.
Ready to get this party started.
Yeah, so right there you went for the melee because it's like I want to proc melee lifesteal, I want to secure it, but you just need to let it push against like characters like this. These are two like really poke heavy characters. You either have to like push it really hard and not give them space, or you need to just let it push up. They're gonna poke you if you let it push up on you, but you can't really go into the middle area where like they can just hit you. Like you go for the CS right there, there's not really where else you're gonna be, and they can just hit you with their big abilities. Always being under your tower like is bad, because it just restricts the amount of space that you have, restricts your options, and they get to poke at you. But it's still better to at least not get as free of damage put on you. Alright. So we got monster rounds queued. See if we buy it. Yeah, it's a lot of damage. Holiday is a character that does a good amount of damage early on. She does need... Okay. Yeah. I think you kind of just didn't respect the poke from these two people. Because once you're like 200 or so, they already kind of showed that they were going... Like, they were down to just throw spam into you when you're at the shop. And you kind of let them do it like 2 or 3 times before then, and they just sent it on you for the kill. Okay, it's good pressure. We're blasting. Yeah, this is tough. You do get to shoot them, but this is a pretty evasive lane. This guy comes back in. See if your Holiday can finish him. Nice. Okay. Not sure why that guy came back in. That guy could have just left and see what his items are.
I pay your salary, Holiday.
He could have just bought like a healing right. Or he couldn't. I think he's at like 700. But yeah, he could have just chilled. Instead, he came back. So, good on you guys for capitalizing on it. Alright, so we're coming up on 5 minutes. So I'm gonna check that again, hold on.
I pay your salary, Holiday. I can use this.
So this guy comes in, do you hit him with bash? Yeah, you do hit him with bash. I think, like, you've already taken so much damage. You hit him with bash, but like, use ram to kind of go back into him, which gotta be mindful of your health. Okay, so we do grab a healing ray. We delay the slowing bullets, which is probably for the best. You need to clear this wave first. So you wanna, when you buy a healing right like this, you wanna make sure you're not missing the wave. Like, it is a scary situation, but you wanna just like try to grab or try to push the wave at least off the tower, right? At least like don't want to lose the wave, the money and the XP from the wave. Like, you're already behind because you got killed, right? So even though you're getting pressured, you wanna try to push it out and then do your healing right around the boxes. Because your tower will take some damage. You'll maybe lose a creep or two worth of souls,
You wanna play?
which when you're behind starts adding up.
I got enough chain for all of them.
So right here, so you guys are pushed up. You're not in a horrible position to pressure them in terms of like the soul difference. But your Holiday doesn't have lasso. She used it earlier when they were pressing your tower. But like right here, I'd probably just shove this, because they still poke a lot. You know, they still poke a lot. I don't know if you want to dive on them. But I probably would have pushed this out and then ran, done my healing right, run some boxes, come back, just stay healthy. So I would chain here. Yeah, you should have chained. Hopefully your Holiday can make it out. This is good pressure onto the rim. But yeah, probably like, let's go back to it. But yeah, right here, as soon as like this guy has like 300 HP, right? You chain this guy and he probably dies, and his rim is with him. The rim's fuller HP, but right here, you just pop chain. You can just chain this guy, and he'll probably die, especially with your Holiday. Like, she's looking at him. He can't really go anywhere. He doesn't have flight. Yeah, but it just makes it to where he can't go anywhere. You'll probably get slept after it, but you just put more and more damage onto the Grey Talon.
I'll find my prey. They destroyed the Guardian on Greenwich.
Okay, so that bird's
I see
going over to
Vector.
that lane.
Today you're making history.
So you guys are in the lead.
Oh, you wanna start
Souls
shooting but not
wise.
finishing. I see how it is.
Holiday did get a kill. Yeah, because she cleaned up the rim. So you guys are in a pretty decent position in this lane. I think your other lanes are not doing super hot. The frame rate. Like right here, you could chain this guy, probably. Chain both these guys. You should rip it. You should. Okay, now you got it. Okay, nice.
Come back and I'll do it again, pal.
That was good. Probably chain a little bit earlier. Because the thing about chain, aside from the fact that prevents people from using their movement abilities. Like that's one of the really good purposes of chain.
Let's go to Broadway.
But
You're dead.
let's see how you handle this first before I finish this thought up.
Why are you hiding from me?
Okay, and then let's turn our map view to team only. But yeah, the thing about chain is that it's gonna suck everyone into you. Like it's like Lash ult, it's like Dynamo ult. It makes it to where people on your team know where the enemy's gonna be. So when you're playing with Holiday, for example, and you chain people, she knows that they're gonna be pulled in on top of you, and she can just barrel both of them for like full value, right? And you want to be able to like, in an exchange like that, if your Holiday can barrel both of them, that's very good, especially when they're low HP. But she's like, okay, they're both chained, they're both gonna get pulled into him. I can just line up a barrel and nuke them. And you want to be able to do that earlier, maybe not earlier, but like where you were earlier is better because it's not under their tower. It gives the Holiday more space to line her stuff up. She doesn't want to be like, oh well, maybe I'm kind of hurt, maybe I don't want to do it because now we're under the tower. If you do it like where you're at now, like in this area, it's a lot safer, a lot more straightforward.
Mid-boss has arrived.
Look at this tower. Yeah, almost got out of that Lash ult. Charge away. So yeah, hopefully you just leave. Pop your healing right and leave.
They tried to kill me, but they can't because they suck.
You gotta be careful just going right on the zip line like this. You don't know who on their team is just like looking down range. You could have gotten peppered by, you know, a number of people. Their team doesn't have super great guns to like shoot you down range, but in general, when you're 1 HP like that, you want to go up to the zip line, you want to mantle off of it and like pivot on and off of it, so you're not just going straight down and someone can just hit you and kill you. Like you would just die at 40 HP and you get hyperlined, right? So we're rotating over here. I like this. Going on this Warden. Warden's 1 HP. This was nice. Looks like you're probably gonna die here, but the idea was good. Came over, went to this lane, killed that guy. Probably in your favor, all things considered, because it helps keep pressure on that lane. Where do we go? Okay, I like going back. So yeah, they may have 4 people here if this Warden comes back. No one's on blue right now.
I see the enemy.
So right here, you may want to go back. You probably should have just gone all the way down the line. Looks like you're maybe heading for these centers. Which, that's fine. I haven't been keeping an eye on the map, but I'm sure, like, these centers have just been... So your team has 3 people here. There's probably only 3 here. So let like there's something to be said about these sort of like I said this earlier. This ult's like Dynamo ult, right? It's like Lash ult. There's something to be said about these big ults. It's like Reinhardt Shatter in Overwatch as well. But any of these like AoE CC ults, a lot of people feel compelled and inclined. They're like, well, I need to hit like multiple people to like get value out of it, right? But like in this situation, you have Mirage, he's kind of too far. You have Mo. This guy probably should have ulted the Celeste. I don't know exactly where he was, but in any case, you can still just ult the Celeste, right? You can ult the Celeste and kill her, and ulting her makes it to where you're probably going to get this tower. Anyone else who joins the fight may get baited into helping her, and they die along with her, but she's probably going to get out, right? And you probably could have chained her Like, even though it's on one person, you can just, you know, you're not using your chain now. You may use it here in a second, but instead of killing her and, like, freely getting this tower, they're kind of buying time. 2 people on your team just died, and now these people are like, well, you know, we're just buying a lot of time. So you do end up getting the tower, which is good at least. So you guys were like maybe only 1 or 2k down before that, and now you're down, like your team is down 6k. So overall, like that exchange was not, like it just wasn't very efficient. So this Mo's getting ulted. Like, see that Lash just solo ulted that guy, I think. I don't think the Mirage was there. Maybe the Mirage was there. Yeah, so yeah, it's just the Mo, and this guy's just ulting. He has 3 people and he's still solo ulting this guy. But that's okay, because he's getting a kill, he's getting momentum. Like, you'd rather use your ult 20 times and get, you know, a kill, a solo kill 10 times than use it like 4 times in the game and you're shackling 2 or 3 times every time, right? Because as the game progresses, you'll have more and more opportunity to get big team-wide ults. This is good. No tower here. You just get to bonk him. Okay, well. So once again, dude is at 1 HP. Just reload in his face, and
This ain't gonna be the last time I kick your
and
ass.
kill him. You don't need to melee people if they're 1 HP unless like you really need to, and you really didn't.
To be claimed.
You gotta resist the urge of meleeing people at 1 HP, because they're just gonna parry, right? And as you go up in ranks, people are just gonna parry when they're at 1 HP. Because there's lots of situations where that dude parries you, but someone on his teammate was coming in from the roof, and you're at like, you know, you're at like 600 HP, and someone from the roof could just, like the Lash could have just been there, the Celeste could have been there, they could have just come down from the roof, and they just nuke you, because you're just standing still with a damage amp on you. Miss the centers. Just need to clean up the timing for that. So right here, we're down 8k. What needs to happen is your team needs to try to get control of this urn. So, someone needs to do it. It can be you. You've also been sitting on a lot of money. I've been yapping a lot, but yeah, you've been sitting on a lot of money. You spend. Okay. I don't know about Chanters at this point in the game. Especially on, like, Billy. I'm sure he does, like, spirit damage, right? Like, this does spirit damage. These do spirit damage. And it gives you some good spirit resistance and some cooldown. But at this point in the game, like, you bought Enchanters, and you bought Enduring Speed, and you bought something else. I don't know if you bought the Battle Vest already. I think you bought the Battle Vest. Let's see how this happens. Okay, nice. Bad bag. Probably good that it went on the Mirage. But yeah, you had like 5,800 gold, and you bought 3 tier 2 items. And at this point in the game, you don't particularly want to spend your money on 3 tier 2 items, and the only one of them that can be upgraded is Enduring Speed. And it's not like Juggernaut is like a super primo late game upgrade, especially against like this comp. So you want to be more mindful about how you're spending your money. But in any case, Urn ended up becoming neutral while I was talking about all of that. Soul Lead is getting closer in your favor. The that rim feeding like a 1K bag or whatever was a big swing.
Is under attack.
So you're pretty ahead right now. At least on your team. Like the other team has this Victor that's starting to get out of control. He's 3-0. Which that's scary. You know, that's scary. Part of what your job is as Billy is to kind of bully their carries and bully people in their jungle.
They destroyed the Guardian on yellow.
So you don't necessarily have to like hunt down someone like Victor, but you can just like go to their camps and steal their farm. And if people roll up on you, you scrap with them, you bully them, take the farm in front of them. A lot of like farming in this game, when you're at, because this is like mid-Emissary, a lot of farm in general is going to be left on the map. Like people aren't going to farm it efficiently, they're not going to take it at all. And you can kind of come and get your own team's farm. But for characters like Billy and characters who are in like these 2 to 3 roles, so assassins, bruisers, a lot of time you want to be taking the other team's farm if you can. You normally want to leave your side farm mostly to your carry. You want to like let your carry, which on your team would probably be the Mirage, maybe the Drifter, depending on how he's building. But you usually want to leave farm that's on your side, which is the safe farm, to the people who need to like be safe when they're farming. So let's see here. The Rim of the Celeste come in on you. You guys are kiting it back. But yeah, it's okay to take your farm, but if you have the choice between the enemy farm and your farm on a character like Billy, you want to try to lean towards taking their farm as long as it's like safe to do. As long as you're not just like dying, you can go take their farm.
The urn has been dropped. They destroyed the walker on Greenwich.
Soul urn in here.
Okay, so they're bringing the urn here. So okay, so you're on top of it. See it coming. Posting up, getting blasted. This is good. So you had the right idea. The idea was good. I think you just missed when he came in, and you missed the melee on it. So the Celeste comes in, and you kind of get distracted by the Celeste. The Celeste is like, she comes in, she's like, look at me. So then you use your stuff on her, and meanwhile the Lash is like, all right, cool. Look at all the space that I now have to come and dunk this urn. So he's coming in. And you're looking at the Celeste, and you kind of miss that he's coming in from the top left here, which in this scenario, so your Mirage is here. He should probably be like this is a tough spot for someone like Mirage because he doesn't want to get Lash ulted, he doesn't want to get AoE down, so he's kind of playing this somewhat conservative, which is understandable. But here you like the only thing that matters right now in this instance is trying to melee this guy delivering the urn, and you're getting distracted by the Celeste. So he comes in, he dunks it here. So they get the urn, right? Like they get the thing that they were playing for. This guy has his ult. The Celeste is still full HP. Like these people are full HP, and you guys are pretty hurt. Like you're not. Your Mirage is fine, but you're pretty hurt. So probably what you should do here is this urn gets captured, and you're right next to it. Instead of looking at the Slash and shooting the Slash, you should just try to deny as much of this urn as possible while kiting back, like back towards this walker. You're not gonna get like, more than likely you're not gonna win this exchange, right? Because this Slash is a bit ahead of you. He's got 2k on both of you. The Celeste is a little bit behind, but she has full HP and she's like in a good position relative to what's happening. But yeah, I would have probably, it's like once you lose the urn, it's like, well, the next thing that you want to do is mitigate and minimize how much they get off the urn, and that comes from denying the urn, right?
Let's go to York.
Alright, so now your team has the urn, bringing it back around. Should be pretty free.
Headed to blue.
Okay, good.
Blue walker is under attack.
So this rim's on your blue walker.
Go time.
Looks like you're responding to it. Bonk, bonk. That was good.
They ain't putting up much of a
Probably just
fight.
need to get used to it. I don't know how much you play, Billy. You're starting your 2, your ram, your rising ram, a little too early, and you're like missing people. So that's probably just like an experience thing and needing to play the character more. But pretty sure you really want to. It's really important to actually land this, because landing it gives you weapon damage and it reduces the cooldown. So you don't have a point in it, so I guess it doesn't do the weapon damage. I don't know. I feel like 25% weapon damage is pretty decent though for the first point. But regardless, it does reduce the cooldown, which is, I mean, this is a 28-second cooldown, right? So, and it knocks them up. So make sure you hit this. You don't wanna whiff that.
Cracking 'em open. Come out and play, pal.
So this rim's, he's just pushing you guys off. Chasing the rim, like right here, this is not particularly what you want to be doing. This guy's letting you get a ton of damage on him. Getting parried on a light melee is like, that's just how it is. Okay. So let's go over a couple things. Gonna back up to before this starts. Okay. So first of all, before any of this even happens, you have 5k souls on you. You have 5k souls on you, and you have Spirit Strike queued up, which probably means that you're pathing next into Spirit Snatch, which is a 3200 item. I don't know what you're building after that, but presumably you could just go to the shop right now, spend at least 3200 souls, and get a big, like, that's a lot of damage, right? Spirit Snatch, especially when you're also building like things like enchanters and whatnot that just give you more spirit. Like this is a big item, big power spike. So that's one thing. Just you're doing a bit better about spending your souls, but you still float a lot of souls. The next thing is that, and this plays into it, is that so you're low on power, right? You're sitting on a lot of money. You're effectively a 15k character, right? If you look at, like, I don't have the mod that shows you what people's unspent souls are, and on average in Emissary, people on both teams are going to be bad about spending their money, and they're going to be sitting on souls and so on and so forth. But still, the way that these games work is you want to fight when you have spent money, right? And you have not spent money. You have a lot of money. You have a lot of power tied up in money that's doing nothing. So that's one part of it. The second part is, so this is their blue walker. The blue walker is probably the hardest to aggress into because of a number of reasons. I'll quickly go over those reasons. When you go into this walker, right? It's in the middle, which means that anyone in this area can respond to it, as opposed to if you were to push a sidewalker, which means that anyone on the other side of the map can't really quickly respond to it. They'd have to go to a zip line. But anyone in this area, right? Anyone in this area can immediately come here. Anyone from base can come in. The enemy can, like, they have so many points that they can hold. They can come in from here, which is where the warden was. They can come up in this top left area, which is where like a lash player would like to approach from. They can come in from here in this door. They can come in from the topish area here. They can come in from the side, from like, you know, they can wrap you. And then lastly, there's lots of corners. You see, like, there's how do I say this? There's lots of map terrain and geometry that breaks line of sight here. So this is breaking line of sight. This is breaking line. There's people that could be coming, like swinging in, and you just don't see them because there's so many buildings in the way, and you have to go so much further to get line of sight down the lane that you're like, oh well, it's just the rim. Which, first of all, you're probably not going to kill rim, who's walking towards this walker, right? Because even if only one person shows up, this rim's just gonna dash to his teammate and become intangible, and you're not gonna kill him anyways. So chasing a rim all the way down here is just, that's not a good idea. But yeah, you guys come in here. The warden's up here. You fight here, which in a vacuum fighting here is like fine, but you're just keeping your whole team in the danger zone, because here comes Lash, right? See, look, this is what I was talking about. Like, this guy's coming from base. He's here. You can't see this guy. Like, you're fighting like with two buildings in between this guy. Like, in order to have seen him the first time, you needed to have been at the walker. In order to have seen him here, you needed to have been past here. But everyone's fighting in this like no man gray area, and this Lash just comes in and he goes, oh wow, look, a bunch of people on the enemy team. And this happens, Lash players do this so often, where your team is like, well, we can push this, we can do this, like this is chill. And then everyone is grouped up here in this tight little space, and he comes in, and he could have done this off the zipline. He could have come in from the top left. He could have come in from the side here as well. And he comes in and he ults. He gets 2. He could have gotten 3. Instantly kills the Mina, right? The Mina dies. So obviously this was a lot of the team decision, but you also kind of went along with it, right? You went forward, you kind of got strung along by the rim, you went engaged on the warden. There was nothing really to be gained from pursuing that, right? That rim was never going to get caught and killed in the position that he was in. Alright, so yeah, at the base, you forwent the Spirit Snatch and you went Spirit Resilience, which is decent against this team. This is a very Spirit heavy team. So not a bad item. So I was yapping here. Let's see how you ended up getting called here. Okay. So we're on our side of the map. We see the wave. We're like, let's clear this wave. Shooty shoot shoot. Shoot shoot shoot. And then they open up on you. So I think, I'm assuming you die here. You're actually putting up a pretty good fight. So the wave was like pretty squarely at the even part of the lane and of the map. I think in general you could farm that lane. You probably need to be a little further back because you kind of just went in, you walked into the lane, which I understand that you're Billy and you want to melee, but when you're kind of down,
I see
you
great
don't have
arrows.
great map control. You want to like go up to the lane or up to the
darkness
wave
creeps ever
and like shoot at it and be like, I'm gonna shoot these from a safer distance, and if there's someone here, I'll kind of have a better. I have more space. I have more distance between them and me, so if they want to go on me, I have more time to react to it, right? Slash is coming in. Okay, so your whole team's rotating over to blue. You guys might be able to go on these people. So this Celeste should probably be dead. She should probably die. She blows her ult.
They can't hold us down.
Your team is actually not too far down right now. You guys are actually in an okay spot economically.
Blue.
So now they want to push blue, which once again, like willingly pushing blue against the Lash with the ult. Almost never a good idea. And Rim, it's Rim and Lash. Like if that Rim was there earlier, like could have just been even worse. But you guys are kind of making it okay. Nah, never mind. I take it back. But yeah, this is something that players in the CeeLo are just gonna struggle against, where it's like you push Blue Walker, the Lash is just gonna hang out there and he's going to ult you. And while you can't control your teammates, like can't do anything about your teammates running it down because it was like your holiday. Your holiday was like, let's push the Blue Walker, guys, let's push it. While you can't control if they go into it, you can always like not go yourself or get on the mic and be like, let's maybe not do it. But against like this team comp, you want to try to put pressure on this Walker first, right? The Lash can still ult people under it, and the Rim can still ult people under it, but there's a much higher chance that less people on their team can respond to it, right? So we're going in. Still on blue. I don't know how many times with the whole team needs to get like owned on blue. So here comes Lash ult number 3. He gets 2 or 3 more people. All right. So yeah, like 3 times now, your team has just gone to blue, and this Lash just ults you. Just ults 2 to 3 people, and your team dies, right? So same point as before. You gotta just like not. You just have to be like, this is bad. If your team goes and feeds, then they go and feed, but you don't necessarily have to feed with them. And it is one of those things where it's like, you'll get people who yell at you, they're like, wow, our Billy didn't come and help us get nuked on blue. And it's like, well, you tried doing this like 3 times in a row. You need to do something different, right? So teammates can be dumb and think that you're griefing by like farming camps and like pushing lanes and whatnot, but this is just a very good like AoE comp. Your team has a very like a giga pick comp, right? Like you want to take like scrappy isolated fights against like 2 to 3 people. Like this team versus this team right here, if they take like full team fights, they get so much value. They have Lash ult, they have Rim ult, they have Warden ult, they have Celeste bouncy ball, right? This guy just gets to walk at people infinitely. This guy gets to shoot people to death. Your team is single lockdown, single target, high damage, isolated target killing, right? Your team doesn't want to be doing this shit at blue.
They took out the drifter.
Why are you picking a fight you can't win?
So, game's starting to get out of hand.
Been dropped.
Hermina had the urn. What did she do with this urn? Maybe she didn't have the urn. Maybe they had the urn. So they're gonna maybe try to bring this urn over to your side. They do have 2 rejuves.
They've destroyed our yellow walker.
So,
Don't go running off on me.
this is a nice attempt. You're actually living a lot longer than I would have thought. But so like, I think once you're in it, like you actually do pretty okay. But in terms of the decision making, right? It's like, okay, you see this. The game's getting out of control here. Just to preface this next part, so it's very hard to deal with anything after this point, right? Like you guys are down 30k, they have 2 rejuves, but regardless, it's like you see this, you see your Mirage is over here, which he is leaving. He's facing away. He's not trying to be here. And you see Grey Talon, Lash, and Victor. You see the 3 people on their team who are all on fire. One of them being the 47k Victor, right? Which this guy is like almost double. He's like 1.5 times the net worth of like anyone else in the server. And this character, if he is this fed, the game's over. Like this character and like Wraith. But honestly, this character, if this character is in this position, you kind of just lose. This character is like unstoppable at this point. He is kind of playing a weird, I don't know. The state of Victor is always changing, but he's playing Gun Victor, which is not bad. But in any case, he does a shitload of damage, and he has Vampiric Burst. So you see this. You see these people who are all owning, and they kill the walker. The walker's gone. There's nothing to defend over here, right? Right here, you should just leave. There's nothing to be gained about walking into this, right? It's like maybe you want to help the Mirage, but there's no walker to defend. It's a 2v3 regardless, right? The health bars are messed up. Like this Lash is full HP. He gets both of you. This guy's probably gonna die. Yeah, he's dead. But there was nothing really to be done or to be gained. At most, the most like liberal thing we could say is that you bought time and space for your team to deliver the urn. Which, at this point, the urn is not. The urn's good and it's extra money, but like they're killing your base guardians. Like that walker just fell a minute ago, 30 seconds ago. Now they're at your base guardians. You get a rejuve here, and you get this guy's ult.
I didn't come all the way to New York just to my prey.
We've only one shrine left.
Well, respawn time. I think we're about to spawn. Okay. So this is what I mentioned earlier. Is that so? Spent money into Juggernaut, which you weren't even slot locked. I don't think when you bought this. So you spend money into Juggernaut, which against their team is like, it's okay. It's not fantastic, but it's okay because this guy is going on hit gun, and this guy's playing Gun Victor. So it does help against these two, but you would probably have rather spent the 4,800 on something else. That's just in general. Like this game's probably a bit unsalvageable. But it's a similar point to the last VOD review where you bought bullet resistance, and this is doing a little bit, but for the price, it's not what you want to spend your souls on.
To stop them from progressing further.
So they get both the shrines.
Defend the stronghold.
Okay, they're gonna leave. Let's go ahead and skip to the next scrap, which is out of the base. You get the slash. You get the lash. Okay. Team actually won this fight. All of your base infrastructure is probably destroyed by this point. We're only down by 5k. Is mid up right now? I think mid is up.
Careful, Mina.
Mid is okay. The Mirage is, yeah. The mid.
Let's go mid.
Yeah, you even tell them you're like, you guys should do mid. The Mirage does need help. The rest of your team is like, huh, mid boss? This is interesting. You guys get mid here. And you're ahead in souls. Like, you have no... Your base is destroyed for the most part. I don't think... They didn't get first drop. So you actually still have your first patron. If I had to guess, I'd imagine you guys probably just ball up and get AoE down.
Let's push green.
So your team is fighting over here. You have half your team not here. And I'm assuming... So this guy's gonna ult in. You're not even there. Yeah, they're getting like clobbered over here.
Great.
So let's see what's happening first. Okay. So don't know what's being said over voice, right? So you're here. You spend. So probably as soon as you see this, and also you have 3 rejuves. This is the last objective you need to go for. Need to buy and get over here. You don't have your speed boost, unfortunately.
Now there goes a man who kind of believes in a vague idea of something.
So you're lost 2 rejuves before you get there. Lost all the rejuves before you get there. The Slash still has his ult. Yeah. You get a big chain. Big chain into a big slam. Okay. Yeah.
Stop them from completing the ritual.
Your team kind of blew that one a little bit. I think for you, you probably could have like. You don't have to like.
This is
So you come in, you get this chain. This is good, and then you slam. And at this point right here, your mean is dead, which is unfortunate. Where's your Mirage? He's shooting. This guy's pushing this base, so this guy's not doing anything. You don't really have a lot of damage here, which is the unfortunate thing. Besides this Mirage, who probably needs to be a little bit closer. He's probably playing a little too far away. But here, you get ulted. I think you actually counterspelled that, which is good. Right here, you should just shoot this guy. You go on this guy. So this is team fighting right here. This is team fighting advice. You see this dude next to you who's 1 HP, and I'm pretty sure you go on this guy. You could just kill this guy. Probably like you just shoot him to death, right? Shoot him to death, melee him. He dies. So you go on this guy, and this guy's just gonna this guy's just mowing you down, right? He doesn't really care. So this was just bad target selection, and also you need to know that carries are people who build carry items like this guy has Siphon Bullets, he has Toxic Bullets, he has Merc Mag, he has Boundless Spirit, he has Colossus, right? Like this guy can just shoot you and you're just gonna walk at him, he's just gonna shoot you to death. Like you need to not like carries will just kill you if you walk at them. And you don't really have damage behind you to make it worth it. Because normally it's like you're the tank, you walk at the DPS shoots you, your DPS shoots them. Even if you die, your DPS is still alive, and then they shoot the rest of the people, right? Like, but there's not follow up behind you to where you can like do this without care of your HP bar. Lash also doesn't die. And then I'm assuming they end the game. Okay. So I think the main things here from this is still be mindful of minion damage in the lane. You still take a lot. Be mindful about getting poked out in lane. Maybe buy your healing right earlier if you need to, especially against poke characters. Like that's what they do. They poke you, and you want to be able to heal that up. Don't be afraid to use your chain more frequently, more liberally. Two main reasons is that getting a kill with chain is better than not using it at all and waiting for a perfect moment, and it also just teaches you how to use chain better. The more you use it, the more you'll use it correctly. A lot of this game was just because your team just kept running it down blue. That's a big one, and like I was saying during the actual review, you can't control your teammates, but you can tell them not to go there. There's lots of times where I've been like, guys, we need to just don't do it. Just don't do it. Like you as the person that you can control and who should be getting better with every iteration of the game that you play. You should see the pattern and be like, well, the Lash is just going to ult us, and the Rim's going to ult us, and then they're collapse on us, and we're going to die, and it's a bad spot. You should be like, guys, just don't do it. Just leave. Just leave. And a good amount of time, people will listen. Especially if you're like, well, they have Lash ult and they're going to kill us. And people will be like, oh, word, Lash ult? Like, people hear Lash ult, especially in, like, Emissary, and they're like, Lash ult? Bad. And they disperse and they leave. They're like, I don't want to fuck with Lash ult. And if they don't listen to you, then you either have to decide on doing something else, which could be farming or pushing another lane, or if you are like, well, my whole team's just going to keep running it down, and it's more value for me to fight, you need to like be more aware of the team fighting elements of it where it's just like, well, if we're gonna do this, I should at least try to not get lash ulted, and I should try to go on the right targets. I should not get rim ulted. I should, you know, try to not get poked down before, because you're basically playing ARAM, right? And then I think that those are honestly the biggest things. Spend your money. Still need to spend your money more efficiently in terms of time and economics, and you need to, like, having a left or right build is fine, but as we saw, you need to, sometimes you have to, like, use your own judgment and discretion to buy different items than the build recommends, because one of the big issues with left to right builds is that part of it is they're made by good players, and they're making these left to right builds, and they're designed around you farming at least like a minimum amount. When I say minimum amount, I don't mean like a bare minimum, but it's like you can't have no money. You need to have like an average amount of money for these items usually to make sense in the order that you're buying them at. And if you just sit on all of your money, then you're not buying the items at the right timings. And if you're not buying items at the right timings, then those items aren't helping you fight, they're not helping you farm, which means it's delaying the items down the line, which is bad, right? Like, it's just impacting your ability to get money later. And it's also like, well, if it's minute 16 and I have 5,000 gold, I don't need to buy 3 tier 3 items probably at that point anymore. It's like this thing, because you bought Enduring Speed, Battle Vest, Enchanter's Emblem. And honestly, I don't know what the build was, but in a lot of builds, it's like you either buy one or the other between Enchanter's Emblem and Battle Vest. And you bought both of them, and both of those are like minute 5 to minute like 12, 13-ish, like big power spike items, and they're good. They're good to still be on your character until you get into the late game where you're selling tier 2 items. But you would have probably rather have bought Enduring Speed or like Enduring Speed and Enchanter's Emblem for the team you were facing, or just Enduring Speed and then skipping the 2 power spike items and spending 3,200 on your next big item. But I think that's it. Just keep hustling. Definitely doing better. Your movement's getting better. Your decision making's getting better. Your aim is pretty alright. But I think from the last VOD review, definitely saw some improvements. So good job. We'll see you on the next one.